This episode is presented by Smirnoff. We do game days. Please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York.
Again, J.J. Redick said that the T-Wolves physically caught them off guard. They were not prepared for the T-Wolves being physical. I thought them being in a basketball uniform was a first certitude, but the second one was they were going to be bigger than the Lakers.
I mean, they got a guy who's 7'2", who's a defensive player of the year on the other side. You didn't think it would be very physical?
It's weird, is it not? Is it just because you have to say something, or is it because suddenly in playoff basketball it became even more physical than it was before?
I mean, JJ talked for a living. Now he motivates for a living and coaches for a living. You got to come up with something better. If that's something to say, it's not, hey, we didn't realize how physical they were going to be.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that you know about the Timberwolves is that they're going to be physical. So it must just be his way of calling out his team, right? Of saying, clearly these guys, I knew that we were going to be physical, but they clearly didn't know how physical it was going to get.
Yeah, but wouldn't there have been a point like in the middle of the game in a huddle, in a timeout huddle? It's like, you got to match their physicality. Like, wouldn't you do it in the middle of the game? If he's waiting to motivate his team, why would you wait till after the game?
The reason I'm more interested in it is because of how obvious it is. Oh, they did. Not me. Them. And not just them, my team, players, employees. Them because they're soft. Them because Minnesota was more wolfy. Right?
That's what he should have said. They were too wolfy for us.
That would have been better. It would have been funnier than the way that he did it. Because do you really think that the Lakers, that they went into that playoff game and they got surprised by the physical nature of Minnesota? Or Minnesota the second half of the season has probably been better than the Lakers? And there are some matchup issues that the Lakers have when it comes to what they traded for that can be exposed by this particular set of ingredients more so than most.
We'll see how Redick is as a coach by how long the series goes, because this oddly feels like one where the two teams are juxtaposed against each other in such different ways with such different styles that it feels like one of those 6 or 7 game series where there's never a close game, like where the Lakers can come back here and win by 20 because they have the firepower with Luka and LeBron, but then the next game Minnesota comes back and punks them. It has the makings of one of those types of series if JJ can figure out what that quick adjustment is to spark their offense.
The thing that would worry me the most, or that does worry me the most about the Lakers, it's not like Anthony Edwards had this dominant type of game. Well, Anthony Edwards took over, couldn't stop him. That's not at all what took place there. Like maybe, all right, Minnesota won game 1. They won it in your building, and Anthony Edwards couldn't stop him. That's not what took place.
If you said to me who in sports looks like when they were young their mom was a notary, I'd say J.J. Redick.
Oh, yeah.
J.J. Redick was the kid like, you need that notarized? Yeah, my mom can do that.
Grayson Allen.
Oh.
It's going to be all
Just
the
Duke
Duke guys. Yeah, it's going to be Christian Laettner. It's going to be all of them. You know, all of the annoying
Grant
Duke
Williams.
guys. Yeah, him too.
Peyton Pritchard?
See what you did there.
I
We
think
all did.
the tough part, too, is like the Lakers wasted a really great Luka game where LeBron and Austin Reeves kind of didn't match Luka's intensity and Luka's game into that first one of the series. And it's like, how are they supposed to fill the needs that they were going to address with the Mark Williams trade that ended up not happening? They didn't really play Jackson Hayes that much either. And it's like Minnesota's so big and so physical that their front line, the Lakers, they don't have that to match up.
My analysis of this the moment they traded for Luka was, well, the Lakers are now going to add Luka. That's going to immediately make them, when you make it Luka and the oldest player in the league, the worst defense in the sport. And then what happened for about 12 games is, nope, Vanderbilt. And I'm like, against the T-Wolves? That you're going to try to flog the T-Wolves with Vanderbilt. Okay. That seems like a good way for the whole LeBron thing to end and collapse on its knees, if that's the way that you're going to do it. And I know we can overreact to one game, but we've been covering the holy hell out of the Lakers this year. And Minnesota came in and flogged them in their place. And everyone knows Minnesota would have exactly the kind of legs you would need to flog a team that's old guy and hookah guy. Like, what do I need to do? What do I need?
And white guy.
Yeah, and then what are you going to hit me with?
Those are three guys.
And when you and then you come the most white with the white school Vanderbilt, and it's like
What if JJ Redick got to the microphone at the post-game press conference just like, we got flogged? Better than not being able to match physicality, right?
It would be better. We'd talk about it more.
I feel like for the Lakers to win this series, they're going to have to shoot like 53s a game because they just don't have anywhere near the size that Minnesota has.
Don't threaten Luka and LeBron
That's
with
what
a
I'm
good
saying.
time.
It'd be great. That's what they should be doing. They took 42 threes in that game, or 41 threes in that game. I think that number needs to go even higher for them to even have a chance.
The difference was that Minnesota hit 50% of their threes. They hit 21, and they were just taking open shots.
Right.
Like, there was just, Jaden McDaniels did whatever he wanted, went 11 for 13, and it was like, oh, there's another open shot. Oh, transition. Oh, another open shot. The Lakers' defense was just abysmal.
The Lakers need an assistant coach who cares as much as Jeff Van Gundy. That's what they need if they're going to win.
Can we see
Yesterday.
this? Let's see this here. Jeff Van Gundy back in the middle of the mix here. Let's go ahead and play that B-roll of Jokic and Jeff Van Gundy in the center.
What a grip.
Thanks. Yes, Jeff Van Gundy.
Look at that.
Yes, that's very strong.
It's like Spider-Man. How is he gripping the ball?
There's four. I see 4 hands on that ball.
Yeah,
Who's
do
the
you-
assistant coach to the right over
This
there?
other assistant coach is mad today because he put himself out there, but everyone's just focusing on Jeff Van Gundy.
Now, I do understand that you're impressed by the Van Gundy core strength there and arm strength. I will remind you, he is lifted full off the seat by Jokic trying to take the basketball from him. Van Gundy is levitating. His ass is no longer on a chair. That's a 200-pound man who has been. I understand that you're looking at that and saying, good grip by Jeff Van Gundy, but I will remind you, he just lifted a 200-pound weight. Jokic just lifted it, and easily.
Now, what he's doing there is what a lot of the league thinks, right? Isn't this the thing with the Nuggets that they think they cheat when it comes to balls out of bounds?
Yeah.
Jokic in particular. He likes
Yeah.
to get the ball, start a fast break.
Yeah.
So I think this is Jeff Van Gundy attempting to slow down the fast break.
Yeah, the Thunder. The Thunder came up with a thing where I think it was the Thunder.
Yeah, they try to sub someone.
Yeah, every time there was an out of bounds play that goes to the Nuggets, there was a guy designated on their bench. He was to automatically run to the scorer's table. And so the referee says, ho, can't inbound yet. So the league is looking out for that. And so Van Gundy there, no hesitation, by the way.
Because that seems like a job of the assistant coach. Throughout the week
Yeah.
preparing, he's like, hey, they like to speed
Grab
up.
the ball.
Let's, he even said in a meeting, he's like, if the ball comes to me, I'm stopping it.
Yep.
I'll stop it. And he had to be about that talk. It couldn't just be about, what am I trying to say here? He's about that action. He's
Okay,
not just
well,
about saying it.
well put.
No,
You
see, I had to
got
get there.
You
I had to
got
get
there.
there.
Yeah, but it didn't. Oh, heavy tongue, Cody, in the mix right there.
You don't want to hear what I did that last segment.
No, we do actually.
We have a bad one from last segment.
Okay, find them both, mix them together, and find a way
them.
to figure out a way for me to hear both of them.
Remix,
You're going to
dog.
give us the last one.
This first one brings me incredible shame. Like, this is
All right,
me.
hold on.
This is bad.
Hold on.
I don't even want to play it.
Well,
Hey,
okay.
let's just not play it,
No,
actually.
but let's play it.
No,
After,
I think we should.
after my voice instead of yours. Instead of yours, okay. Be an executive producer that knows what he's doing and play it after my voice.
Pablo, you and 3 other people. Your dream
My mouth is
dream
watering.
dream guest.
Living or dead.
Thank you to Dan and Pablo there for kind of drowning me out. But I was like trying to find the word for like your dream foursome, but for weed. I was like your dream
Rotation, buddy.
Your dream guests.
Come on.
And it was just, this is bad, Pablo. You and 3 other people. Your dream
My mouth
dream
is watering.
dream guest.
Living or dead.
Man.
Dan, that's your fault.
That is my fault. It is my fault. Damn it.
I'm like dream Gene.
Jimmy Johns could have had the best.
Pablo, you and 3 other people. Your dream
My mouth
dream
is watering.
dream guest.
Living or dead.
Jimmy Johns must be so proud that they come on. as-
Dreamlet. Your dream guest. Your dream nat.
Get the other one as well, so that heavy tongue
Pablo,
Cody.
you and 3. Like one's enough.
No, I need
one's
both.
enough.
I need both
Pablo,
of them.
you and 3 other people. Your dream
My mouth is
dreamlet.
watering.
Dream guest.
Living or dead.
Please, please, figure out a way before the end of the segment. I want that edited to get me out of there. So
not
that-
possible.
so I think it is. I think it is. I think that it is possible that we can edit the me out of there so we can just hear what it would have sounded if I had not interrupted you with an obviously a watering mouth. I might
Pablo,
add.
you and 3 other people. Your dream
My mouth is
dreamlet.
watering.
Dream guest.
Living or dead.
Like a lot of these, I'm like, all right, this is just me. I'm doing a thing. This is
No,
I
yeah.
hate this.
Okay, so go.
This
go-
I hate
you
this
just,
sound.
You just.
he knew he was in trouble when Dream came out. He was like, Dream.
Your dream what? Pablo, you and 3 other people. Your dream
My mouth is
Dreamland.
watering.
Living or dead.
Halliburton and Damian Lillard going at it yesterday. Stugotz has left. Toothache. He's got a toothache. He was not joking. He was wandering around the parking lot. I'm not making what I'm about to say up, okay? You guys tell me whether or not you think that this is weird, because I told you earlier this morning he came, and I can feel, because he was chewing on bacon, the greasiness and the crunch, the audible crunch of someone who was telling me that they had a toothache so bad they might have to leave early while chewing crunchy bacon. That's what I got this morning. Just now he left in the parking lot and he told me, Dan, it's too much. I got to get out of here. My mouth's a real mess. I've got something that I've got to get to tend to with. It's an emergency. And he's smoking a cigarette. Like the smoke is going in and out of his mouth in a way that would seem to be less than healthy. And so he is now left with a toothache. And I honestly believe this. I believe that professional critic Stugotz, 20 years as a titan in this industry, I believe we are in jeopardy of him missing the draft with a toothache. Like that it might escalate to he's a professional critic of the toughness of others, and during the most important time of year, he will not be available to work because he's got a toothache.
He's got smoke going through a little hole in his tooth as he's smoking that cigarette, and it's coming back out the other side.
The tooth is smoking.
It's not healthy.
Like
put it on the poll.
itself
Put
is a little cigarette inside.
Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Do Stugotz's teeth smoke individual cigarettes themselves?
The visual of a little hand on each tooth has a little
Just a tiny
Tiny
little hand.
cigarette.
They're all French.
Got a
They've
little
hand-rolled
bit
the
of
cigarettes.
smoke is coming out of his mouth. What's going on there? It's like, oh, one of my teeth must be smoking.
I believe the draft, his draft coverage is now in jeopardy because he did seem to be in legitimate pain, and he doesn't take very good.
Underrated pain.
He doesn't take very good care of himself. But the Milwaukee Bucks, I think a lot of people watching right now, the Milwaukee Bucks are assuming
Team
that
stinks.
they break up after this year if they get eliminated quickly and embarrassingly in the first round. And we're going to have a bit of difficulty with the legacy of Giannis because of the 1 year where he ends up getting to the championship, and we're all going to be like another person in that region. Aaron Rodgers was really good for a long time and probably should have won more than once if he's as great as I think he is.
And that was a weird year, too, remember, because the COVID season ended in, like, September, and then the new season started in, like, November. It was a weird year that they ended up essentially capitalizing on. Not a lot of people in the arenas either. You know, it wasn't full attendance or anything like that. Yeah, it was a weird year they won. His only win.
It's weird that they haven't been better around him because he has been dominant every single. But he's been dominant every single season of his career, and even in the postseason, he's been great. At this point, I mean, listen to this list. This is going to be his 7th consecutive season finishing in the top 4 in MVP voting. That joins Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe Bryant, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Indisputably great. Indisputably great.
And the funny thing is, this season is probably his best season ever, and it doesn't matter. He's distant third in the
He's
MVP
Shaq.
race.
But all of those guys you just mentioned there, multiple championships, right?
Right, but
Okay.
that would be the point
Okay.
about how the Bucks have potentially failed building around him,
let's talk about architecture
city.
here because here's Kyle Kuzma's stat line, and this was the reinforcement at the trade deadline. This is Kyle Kuzma. I think I can say this. Can I say this without dilution?
Go on.
I don't want to say it because of it just seems cruel, but when I think of Kyle Kuzma, I'm like, yes, professional loser. Like somebody who loses professionally.
For the audio audience, his stat line yesterday, 22 minutes, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 blocks, 0 steals.
I feel bad about this part, right? Because what I think of with Kyle Kuzma, I'm like, oh, yeah, famous influencer, great at the fashion of basketball. And I am not trusting you in the fourth quarter with any of this, sir. Like, I don't believe you will play this game correctly if we're not doing the whole Instagram influencer thing.
Wait, Stugotz's tooth is on the screen, and it looks sad smoking a cigarette.
Yeah,
That's the best part.
'cause it needs a root canal.
It's exhausted by how often it has to smoke cigarettes on behalf of Stugotz.
Exhaust being the key word there, just smoking right out of his mouth.
Dan's a writer.
Professional. You understand what I'm saying, though? In terms of the league, the Wizards have a particular kind of stench on them, right? Like,
yes.
You're not, even Charlotte doesn't get this. The thing that I'm talking about, Charlotte is a professional loser of a franchise. One of the things that I love talking about with the Clippers is the Clippers have always been that. So this is kind of confusing to see them have a legitimate, not laughingstock chance at the championship. But when I think right now, and I don't know if I'm doing this because of the Harlem Globetrotters. They always played against the opposite loser by, typecasting. The Washington Generals were the biggest loser franchise ever. I associate Kyle Kuzma with losing basketball back when the Lakers were less interesting and wherever it is that he ends up, and then he ends up in Washington. I'm like, you trade for that. When the Heat were talking about trading for that, I'm like, that's not going to help anybody do anything.
So you skip right over. I agree with what you're saying, but you're also skipping right over him being a 2020 NBA champion.
I know.
Was just about to mention that.
I know. I am doing that.
But I agree with you.
How is that? The reason that I'm presenting it to all of you is because look at what I'm doing. It's not even fair and also inaccurate.
Feels like he played for the Wizards for 15 years.
But all of that, it felt like they were losing 143 games a season. Like they'd leave there 0-3. Every time they played, you'd lose 3 bets on just, they lost that game 3 times. How did they do that? They were only playing 1 game. They played a triple header of losses.
How is it possible? It's one thing to play 3 minutes and you have zeros across the board. How is it possible to have zeros everywhere in 22 minutes? He didn't even have a turnover, I don't think.
He had nothing.
How does
El
that,
Fantasma.
How is that
That's
possible?
actually, let's applaud him. No turnovers. Like, what
Clean
are we doing
game.
there?
No fouls.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Just stood. Just
Like
against the spread.
the box score, if not for the number under minutes, would not be historical proof that Kuzma had played in that game. There would be no evidence. You couldn't. A team of detectives and forensic investigators looking through the history books would have had no evidence that he played in a game to help Giannis.
Do you think he's aware of it? Because he had 2 free throw attempts. I'm picturing in 17 minutes in, he's like, all right, these 2 free throw attempts. This is big. I need, if I don't make these.
Oh, but that is proof, though. I stand corrected. There's a number in the box score there. It's the 2 free throws that prove he's not an apparition. He is not a ghost. He's simply Kyle Kuzma. Not going to help you at the trade deadline.
And 0 for 5 from the field. So, he existed. But
He did have 2 fouls.
Oh, now my box score is ruined. I thought it was just 0.
Chris Livingston played 1 minute in that game and recorded a rebound. So he had more of an impact in his 1 minute at the very end.
Livingston leaves the game like Jeremy. Yes.
Little fist pump.
Got that
I did it.
rebound.
But Halliburton and Dame, you guys make fun of me because I'm rooting for a Clippers-Pacers final because the Pacers are fun and I really like the Clippers. But Halliburton and Dame, the whole Lillard thing hasn't quite gone the way that was supposed to.
It's weird because you figure with those 2 guys, like they were at one point when Lillard was healthy, they were the highest scoring duo in the NBA. And then obviously the blood clots and things change. But for me, I don't like when a guy is on the bench in a Louis Vuitton sweater and then has something to say to the best player on the other team. It's like, buddy, you're on the bench.
What's the backstory?
What are we
Why
doing
does
here?
Dame not like Halliburton? Is there anything there other than just trying to
I think
talk
Halliburton
shit?
was just talking during the game, and then he told him, I'm going to bust your ass.
A lot of people don't like the way Halliburton talks because it's rare.
He's got a voice thing, too.
He has 7 different voices, but it's also that he mostly, you notice, only talks if they're like up 25, and he's not a big talker when they're losing, and that was exposed last year.
Who talks when they're losing,
It's the best time to talk.
Who
though.
talks
Oh,
when
of
they're
course,
losing?
Scoreboard,
but it's
buddy.
solely when it's, hey, I can point at the scoreboard behind me, and they're sort of saying, like, the best guys are trash talking all game long when it's close, right? When that game is close and are able to pull away late. And a lot of the time what ends up happening is it's not until the Pacers have already run away with it, at least is, what people are saying.
And the great part is it's going to be like, oh, you're going to see. When I'm out there, you're going to see. And no, you're going to see. I'm going to show you. No, I'm going to show you when I get out there that I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you.
It's a show off.
How about that?
What a shame for Dame.
I'm gonna bust your ass.
Thank you.
Okay, I need some sort of trash talk police. I need something that picks up the trash. This is all silliness. We're going to talk about whether Halliburton should talk up 25, up 12, or down 4. Very few people talk trash down. Jimmy did against Giannis in that one playoff game that makes some people like Zaslow think that bad news is coming up for the Cavs. This guy thinks right here. This guy feels bad for Cavs fans today.
Heater winning Wednesday. Heater gonna win Wednesday. Wednesday's game 2.
They won game 2 last year against Boston with the worst team.
Put a scare into them. That's right. Heater winning game 2.
Want to make a wager on that?
Wait, we were a worse team last year with Jimmy?
Jimmy didn't play in the postseason.
Oh, he was hurt
You guys
last
remember
year.
that
Damn
one?
it.
Remember how he got hurt?
Thought I
because he
caught
didn't play?
you. Thought I
You
tricked
didn't, though. You're having a hell of a
Box him
day. Old
Dream
heavy tongue turned around to get Jeremy, and it exploded in his face. A big exploding cigar.
Pablo, you and 3 other people. Your dream.
My mouth
Dream
is watering.
Living or dead.
Never been happier to hear Dan and Pablo talk.
Yeah, I ruined that. Pablo ruined it. Can you get me the other one, though? Because I think the one this hour is just as bad.
They're not grabbing it. I told them to grab
Weird.
it. Out there.
Yeah, please hurry up and grab that as fast as you possibly can. I need some more ammunition at Chris Cody's expense.
Giannis had 2 starting teammates in this game play 20 minutes or more and not score. That feels impossible. 2 starters that played over 20 minutes in that game and just goose egg offensively. The rest of the starters combined for 14 points, and 5 of them were from Ryan Hollins.
But you're confident, though, that Doc Rivers will figure it out.
I do think that what kind of laugh was that? I do think that Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday were kind of important to what it is that Giannis was doing. That one strange year that he won a championship over the toenail of Kevin Durant.
It's a perfect situation, though, for Lillard. Like, Lillard's going to show up in game. If the Bucks win game 2, Lillard is a hero coming back to Milwaukee for game 3. Perfect. Win-win situation for Damian Lillard when he returns.
Again, though, when trying to place the legacy of Giannis in the middle of this time, when you've got Jokic over there, and you've just got a real mastery of the sport you got Steph Curry over there. Giannis, I will remind you that Chris Whittingham very definitively said that Giannis forevermore could never be a number 1 and win a championship. He would forever have to be a number 2.
It's kind of turned out in these playoffs, Giannis is probably the NBA's best number 2 because I think it's kind of been determined that he can't be your 1. And like in terms of his specific skill set and the areas of the game in which he struggles, you can't rely upon him to get baskets at the end. Oh!
And who was, can everybody, because I don't remember, guys. I want to just make sure that I'm remembering correctly. Who was the number 1 he was talking about?
Middleton?
Chris Middleton.
Plays for whom now?
I mean,
The
I remember,
Wizards.
The
those
0-973
loser-
Wizards.
The
Okay.
loser Wizards.
I mean, I also remember Whittingham saying Matthew Kachuk. It's all empty stats.
Not a good year for
They
Woody.
went to the Stanley Cup final.
Other
that
than
year.
growing at
How
calling
does he
soccer.
keep failing his way up in our business? Like, these are epically wrong takes. And
He's
now-
great at soccer. The problem is he sucks at everything else, apparently.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Is Whittingham great at soccer, but he sucks at everything else, evidently?
Everything's wrong. Giannis is
I
number
mean,
1.
It's not just wrong, it's wildly wrong. It's like saying, you know who the X factor is in that Bucks-Pacers series in game 1? Kyle Kuzma.
Which you probably would have said, by the way, if he was still here.
Can I ask you guys, though, because it's not fair. Career, just calling someone a professional loser, it feels wrong to me, but I'm just admitting a private inner thought honestly, and I'm not comfortable with myself doing it. It's just a reflex I have that I'm looking at somebody who's a champion, and I'm still saying that that person is not a champion. That person loses at basketball games. Is the stench and the stain of the Wizards that bad for me right now that I'm going to do it to anybody in the world?
I also think there's a major difference in the way that you said it the first time, because first you said he's a professional loser, which sounds really awful. And then you followed it up, it's less bad when you say he's a loser professionally. Professional loser is...
I'm not okay with either of them, frankly, and I'm trying to walk it back right now as we speak because it felt wrong coming out. But I am being honest with you when I say this team has Kyle Kuzma. What's going to happen? Well, they're going to lose.
Except kind of recently they didn't.
Except for the time they won the whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, but he didn't really have anything to do with it. He was milling about the way that he was in that Bucks playoff game. He wasn't doing against the spread. No, I don't know why you.
No, I did see a box score from that Lakers series where he had 20-something minutes and 2 points. So close.
This is what I'm saying to you guys publicly and privately. I'm perfectly willing for you guys to tell me, Dan, you are so very wrong. Look at all of these amazing times that Kyle Kuzma won. I have no recollection of Kuzma winning anything ever. And even when he won, according to you guys, allegedly, I've put it in my memory bank as a loss. Him winning the championship does not exist anywhere in my Kuzma library as something that's jubilant at the end. That loses.
He was pretty bad in the finals against the Heat. I'm looking at his numbers right now. He was pretty bad. Shot 35% for the series.
He was one of those guys he'd start and then just go out and not come back in.
Yeah. But his highest scoring postseason game was in a loss to the Miami Heat in that NBA Finals with 19 points.
When the Lakers clinched the championship, he scored 2 points that night.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I will publicly apologize and privately to Kyle Kuzma at another time. I'm gonna gather myself and rethink my position and see if I have to offer a public apology.
Awfully similar stat line in that Game 6 they won the championship too. 22 minutes also, 2 points, 1 rebound, nothing else.
What do you want him to do, guys? He had LeBron, he had AD. He's like, guys, you got
something would be the answer.
No, he did something. Yesterday he did nothing.
He did.
He scored double-digit points in 12 different playoff games in his NBA career. I can't imagine the list of guys who have done that is actually that high. That's a guy who's had a lot of success.
That doesn't sound like it to me.
A lot of people.
Double-digit points in 12 or more playoff games. That's double-digit.
They're 0-12 in those games. Yes.
Let me look that up.
Please look up there. They must. Did they lose 17 times in those 12 games? Because that's how I remember it. Zaslow, has your family someone's going to have to explain to me, as I have aged out, as someone who doesn't have children and is in his 50s, the Minecraft phenomenon that has teenage boys scaring a lot of people at movie theaters, bringing in live chickens and an assortment of things that the theater industry needs some life, needs some energy. I don't think if they want live chickens to be part of that energy. There are a lot of strange videos, unruly videos, making their way on the internet with live chickens and other things.
Chicken jockey.
Are your kids participating?
So this Minecraft movie, right? There's apparently a scene in the movie where look where a chicken jockey, all right, is on the screen. That's a live chicken that person is holding right there. That is a live chicken.
Somebody on someone else's shoulders in the theater holding up a live chicken.
Well, so that's right. So there was a person holding another person who was holding a chicken.
Chicken jockey.
Up in the air, there was a chicken in the air, and there was a person in the air.
Chicken jockey. So everybody apparently goes crazy during this one scene in the Minecraft movie. So my son, I got 2 teenage boys. My 16-year-old son, he doesn't care about Minecraft, but he cares about chaos. I mean, he and his friends, they are engineers of chaos. And my 16-year-old son went with like a dozen of his friends to go to Chicken Jockey, to go to the Minecraft movie. And they waited for the scene. The scene happens. They're throwing things everywhere. There's soda on the screen. And my son, bought a rotisserie chicken from Publix. snuck it into the theater. And backpack. And during the chicken jockey scene, he took out the chicken and ran around the theater holding a rotisserie chicken over his head during the movie. He got thrown out.
I would have loved to have been there. I would have been like, let me get a wing. Is he handing out like pieces of the chicken?
It
like,
is delicious chicken.
Oh, the
it's
best.
good chicken.
Running around with a rotisserie chicken over his head.
That's better than the live chicken that this other person. I'm with your
It
son
is-
did it right.
It's better than the live chicken, yes. Your son did that right.
I think
Your
his
son-
son had two options.
A son cannot be permitted to behave this way in public at a movie theater.
Everyone's doing it. If I'm at a movie where no one else is doing it and I'm running around with a chicken, rotisserie chicken,
It's a nice theater, too.
That I should
Are
be.
you ashamed of your son?
Yeah, because there's probably a picture of him at the front of the theater at Dania Point. Don't let this kid in.
Ooh, nice theater.
How was
I
it called?
know.
How was
nice
it called to the Zaslow Mansion?
How does what?
How was the call to the Zaslow Mansion?
There was nothing to call. I mean, he drives. Like, he got kicked out.
so
Where they went.
Nobody
Does he-
said anything to
Does
him.
he get home with pride or shame?
Yeah, he was proud of himself. Yeah.
Okay, what are you in for, kid?
Chicken jockey.
Yeah, let's think about this for a second. He was proud. This is as close as Zaslow gets to the advisory warning, the parental sticker on the hip-hop albums. His son running around with a rotisserie chicken over his head and kicked out of a theater. Zaslow's son banned from Dania Theater. That's it. That is as gangster as my Wi-Fi right there.
I do feel bad for the staff because at the end of this, there's
Awful.
popcorn everywhere.
Oh, do you? Really? Yes, because because it's totally lawless.
Well, that's the popcorn to me is more offensive. Like, bring your chickens. Run
Right
around with
here,
rotisserie
your
chicken.
live
'Cause
chickens?
That's not going to create the mess that popcorn is and the sodas.
They have to sanitize the theater after a live chicken is there, no?
I'll put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Teenagers. They shouldn't be allowed to do anything like this. Teenagers are lawless. You cannot allow teenagers to make the rules in a place where a mess shouldn't be made. Teenage boys, you cannot give them permission to run around with rotisserie chickens on their head. I don't mean to be the spoiler of fun.
You really are like fun police here.
And it wasn't boys. It was one boy. It was my boy.
Banned from the theater. Was anyone else banned from the theater?
They kicked the whole group out. But
Him for the chicken?
yeah, it wouldn't have happened if he didn't run around with a rotisserie chicken holding above his head.
He got all his friends. So years from now, this is going to be the legendary Zaslow family story on the rebellious young Zaslow who got all his friends kicked out of the theater running around with a rotisserie chicken on his head.
He said when they got thrown out that the theater gave them a standing ovation, though. He did say that.
That badass moment at the Dania Point Theater next to the Anthropology and Menchie's frozen yogurt.
So worth it then, Zaslow? So when teenagers ask for forgiveness, not permission, he comes home raised by his father. And what are the consequences to unruly teenage behavior?
What am I supposed to say? I mean, like, it's so stupid. What was I? You got thrown out for what? You commit a crime? No, I held up a rotisserie chicken and I ran around the theater. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that information?
I don't
punished?
know. Discipline, consequences. You got banned from a theater. I don't know. Show better judgment,
Yeah,
kid.
but-
I don't know. I'm not a parent. You tell me.
Funny's funny, right?
How old
It
is
is
he?
funny.
Funny's funny.
How old?
16.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, there are a lot worse things a 16-year-old boy could be doing than bringing a rotisserie chicken to a movie theater. So I think
Okay,
Zaz
thank
is in
you.
good shape
Thank
as a
you,
parent.
Jeremy.
If it was
I think
uncooked,
that's- okay.
that would
Yeah.
be
This
dangerous.
guy's
Oh,
a
yeah,
narc over
exactly.
here. What is this guy?
No,
What's
this
he
is
doing over
great.
here?
I mean, I'm proud of him for that.
Okay.
That's the hijinks he's getting into.
ratting out Zazzle's kid. Or
No,
all
it's
this
great.
stuff?
I'm not ratting him out. I'm saying that's a great thing.
Jeremy, you are correct.
I'm
There
happy about
are
it.
indeed a lot worse things that a teenager could be doing than getting banned from a movie theater running around with a chicken on their head.
Also, better things he could be doing.
I would say also better things. I would just say that if I were that child's parent, not a lot more embarrassing things that my son can do. I will generally concede what you're saying, Jeremy, is so. But now it's all on everybody's radar. Hey, Zaz's kid, you know what he does? He runs around movie theaters with chickens on his head.
I think this is a good cop, bad cop situation. One of the parents has to be, hey, don't do that. And the other one's got to go, hey, that's awesome, though. Give me a fist bump. Nice.
Both of us believe in funny is funny. And that's funny.
Okay, then, but you came in. Look, you were conveying embarrassment.
At first, of course, yes.
Okay, so the laughter dissolves you, and then the consequences disappear because, as
That's
a
right.
father,
Funny's funny.
okay.
Really,
We have
though?
a rule in our house. We have a rule in the Zaslow mansion.
Well, would your wife think the same here? Because I think you think there's a version of funny that your wife does not think is funny.
We are very similar in regard to things like that. Funny is funny, all right? We calm down. Like, all right, no. Anybody get hurt? Did the chicken attack somebody? No, because it wasn't a real chicken. It was a rotisserie chicken. Funny's funny. All right.
As a parent, I feel like you like your son taking control there, being a leader of sorts.
Well, like that he's not
You
a
don't-
sissy.
You could have one. You could have a kid also that's like at the movie theater
What?
with the other kids.
What?
And he's just like, I don't want to do this.
He's not a follower. He's a leader.
Yeah, exactly.
That's important. That's an important trait, Dan.
Let me do funny or not funny here. Okay. What's an important trait?
Being a leader, not a follower.
Okay, but if you're
in that spot.
Yeah, being the kid to be like, I'm gonna get the rotisserie chicken. I don't have access to a live chicken, but I can get a rotisserie
If
chicken.
Someone put in the
Bring
group text, who can get the rotisserie chicken?
Yeah, and he
and
probably
young
said,
Zaslow was
I can
like,
do it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'm a leader.
Initiative.
leader and
Guts.
initiative, I will assign
No fear.
any number of
Guts.
circumstances. I'll even give you that Russell Westbrook at the end of that game was not a loon. He was in attack mode, leading with championship medal. What I will not do is say that Zaslow has raised a child, led so well that child then did the pioneering, visionary, leading thing of putting a rotisserie chicken on his head and running around a theater. I'm not willing to assign leadership to that.
Stepped up in the moment.
Particularly if originally in the group chat, one of the kids says, hey, where can we get a live chicken? I want to bring a live chicken to
He
this
goes,
movie theater.
"Guys, that's
Irresponsible.
reckless."
Yes, it's reckless. It's irresponsible. I'm going to go to Publix. I'm going to pick up a rotisserie chicken. We're all going to get kicked out, but it's going to be in good fun. We're going to get a standing ovation.
And-
Leader.
Good, clean fun.
Leader.
And somebody already did the live chicken bit. I mean, the video's everywhere. I'm going to do the rotisserie chicken bit.
Funny or not funny here, Jimmy Butler's outfit headed into the game. Is it headed into the game last night? Or
Yeah,
headed,
pregame.
Let's see. Funny or not funny, what we have here. Jimmy Butler has, I don't know what this is in the front. I don't.
Pocket.
Just a ridiculously oversized pocket.
Well, but it's in the center of his chest. It's as big. It goes from nipple to nipple. It is square. It looks like, what is it, a baby Bjorn?
Bjorn. Yeah. By the way, great. By the way, I love Baby Bjorn.
Tell you what, you can fit
Anytime
in
I
that
put her in
pocket.
there, she just. By the way, it's great.
Tell you can fit in that pocket rotisserie chicken.
Angle.
Could have snuck it in with that. That would have been good.
Bjorn Borg.
So what is this though? This is all muscles.
This is
It's
style.
Sleeveless. It's style, but it's also carrying a bag. There's a bag inside of a bag in there. Is that a hot water bottle that's in there? There's something I can see in there. What is at the center of the bag, inside of the bag, that is draped like a necklace from Jimmy Butler's chest? There's something in there. You guys can see it. Yes.
Fred Van Vliet's missed field goals?
It looks like a bottle of bleach. It looks like
I see that.
What is that? What is happening there? There's something there. Thank you for the investigative team.
Zooming in.
Big face coffee?
How about this? Funny or not funny? The Belichick lobster situation.
This was adorable.
So this is you mentioned that this was Belichick's daughter, and then you corrected yourself because you were going subliminal there.
Rough day for me. Yep. I was like, his girlfriend posted a picture, and it's like lobster dinner, but it's not lobster. It's strawberries, like designed and raspberries to look like a lobster. So they're having what might be a healthy-ish meal, but they're
That
calling
looks
it
like dessert right there. That's
Strawberries
ice,
for
that's
dinner.
ice cream. Well, that doesn't. I'm not. Is that
that's
dinner?
dessert.
That's
That's
dessert. That's ice cream and fruit.
Wait, can you
That's
put that
lovely.
back up? Does Bill also have the fun little lobster-looking fruit setup?
Looks
I
like
can't
it.
see
Yeah.
across.
he
Zoom in
doesn't
on that.
have-
Zoom in on his.
Look at his face, though. He's not happy.
No,
about
he's
any of
happy.
this.
He loves a
No.
good food game.
No, but
He's
likes-
like, oh, this is not a lobster.
Yeah,
It's
but
strawberry.
he does love a good food game, but he'd like the food to be more decadent than this. He doesn't want it to be
Yep.
oat
He
milk
said
ice
lobster.
cream. Oat milk ice cream
Is that
and
an
fruit.
Iowa hoodie?
That's not what he wants.
Or Iona?
I think it's Iona. I'm just kind of guessing.
No, I think it's Iowa.
Let's get to the
Weird
bottom
as
of
the
this.
coach of North Carolina.
Let's get the sound, please, Chris, from this hour.
Oh, boy.
I want to hear you stumbling through the finish line here. I thought that the one from this hour was better than the one from last hour.
I'm not lying. They still haven't grabbed it. So
Okay, but I'm going to wait here until they do. So we're just going to sit here staring at each other until I hear it.
Have it in the
okay?
post game.
No, I'm just going to stare at you until I hear it, okay? Let's get ready?
The segment's going to end.
No,
so
that's okay. It's not going to end, is what I'm saying. I'm going to stare at you until you find it, and then you're going to play it.
we're locked in. Guys, you got it? Guys?
please.
All right, they'll have it in the post game. Good show, everyone.
Nope, going to do it right here. Going to just wait.
From game night to parties with friends or special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Now's a perfect time to celebrate legendary stories with friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. It's Miller time. When I think of Miller Lite, I think of me and my dad cheersing, watching a Marlins game, on a cruise together. We get the tsk-tsk-ah and the cheers. It's just, when I think of Miller Lite, I think of times with my dad, times with family and friends. It's the original light beer since 1975, still iconic 50 years later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Hello, Juju.
Hola, my brothers.
Let's begin here. Chris Cody has finally found this up. What happened now? You're trying to push me off getting to this sound.
Yeah,
you found
Dan,
the
I
sound.
guess there's breaking. You just got some breaking news for us. We can't get to that sound yet. It's weird.
You know, I have the most current breaking news of current breaking news every time I drop it. But breaking news, Cooper Flagg has submitted his name to the NBA draft. Back to you, Chris.
Oh, man. Shocking.
Okay, it's too bad we couldn't immediately get to you stumbling in the last hour. Let's hear if your most latest,
Can we give the context?
What is the context?
The context here is I'm talking about Jeff Van Gundy talking to his players in the meeting how, hey, if this ball comes to me, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to try to slow down these Nuggets, and I'm going to be about that action. So that was what I was trying to say, and this is how it came out. And he had to be about that talk. It couldn't just be about, what am I trying to say here? He's about that action. And he had to be about that talk. It couldn't just be about, what am I trying to say here? He's about that action. See, with the context, I knew what I was trying to do there.
Yuck.
That's not. I've done way worse than that.
He had to be about that talk.
Oh man.
Do you know how hard it is to be lamer than the man who has a son who ran around the theater with a rotisserie chicken on his head?
See, to me, this one's way worse. Pablo, you and 3 other people.
Okay.
Your dream.
My mouth is
Dream
watering.
Living or dead.
Oh God.
Put together a top 5 Chris Cody stumbles for me before the end of the segment.
Yeah, before the end of the show, Chris. That'd be
please
easy.
just put that together. Juju, Missoula, did you have any thoughts on the way we talked about Missoula? You're a Celtics fan, and I don't think we were terribly respectful.
You feel me? Salute to Missoula. Did y'all see when Jason Tatum got hurt? Missoula screamed, "Get up!" Missoula, he's just an all-around crazy man. Like, I done tried to fire him 4 or 5 times, just like Eagles fans try to fire Sirianni when stuff goes wrong. You love him when he's doing right, but you hate him when he's doing slightly wrong. Y'all put the proper respect on Missoula's name. Slightly throw it off, but hey, NBA champion, baby.
What did you think of the Halliburton Dame thing?
Yeah, I think y'all forgot that. Remember last season during the play-in tournament, Halliburton hit a big shot and then went to his wrist and did the Dame time. That's where the beef originated. So since then, Dame ain't really saw that boy too. You know what I mean? He ain't got the best ideas of the Halliburton or the Halliburton family. So he's waiting to get that get back. But you can't be out there wanting all that smoking some capri pants, Dame. Like, you gotta wait till the game come on and don't do all that talking when you ain't even suited up.
The sweater is lovely though, but it seems too colorful for the interaction. The sweater, I don't think I have this wrong. You can be in a nice sweater. It can't be that colorful a sweater though. It can be a beautiful sweater. I think you have to refrain. That's the line that Dame is crossing there. He's talking trash in too colorful a sweater.
Right, you can't want smoking that colorful ass sweater, bro. Like that's date night material. You feel me? Looking good though, Dame. Salute.
He wanted to show he had the Louis V on though. That's why, Dan. He's got to make sure what's got the biggest Vuitton on it. I'm gonna put that on, and then he's got the Kung Fu Kenny pants on, which are crazy.
Jeremy, can you look up? I'm sure you can look up the price of that sweater. I'm sure it's a very expensive sweater. Juju, do you have any thoughts today on any of the lists, any of the top 5 lists, anything else today?
Oh yeah, Stugotz was making the top 5 annoying things list, so I made my own top 5 annoying things list with a couple of OLIs. You feel me?
All right, what kind of annoying things? What's the context?
OLI, NBA games ending at 1 a.m. Eastern time. Like, come on, brother. I got to get up and go to work at 8 a.m. And here we are still Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line. It's like, come on, guys. Another, right. Another OLI. This is kind of one of a picky OLI. Someone saying you're welcome after I say thank you. You can say, no problem. You feel me? But when you say you're welcome, it feels like, ugh. Like,
Really?
just a little, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just me. It's my list. Make your own list if you got a problem.
But you don't want to be welcomed in that situation. I'm thanking you, and that's enough. Don't welcome me to anything. It's enough. I don't need welcoming. We're okay. We can end our relationship at thank you.
Yeah, or if you say thank you to me, I'd be like, oh man, no problem, man, don't mention it. But when you say you're welcome, it just feels a little tangy, like, oh, as a matter of fact, I don't thank you. How about
A little
that?
strong. Yeah.
Okay, to welcome you to what though? You're welcome to what?
To these hands right here, buddy,
wait
if you
a
say it
minute.
again.
Whoa, I don't understand why it escalated to that. Why did it?
That's what it
escalate?
feels like. That's
Okay.
what Juju's saying. It feels like you're saying you're welcome to me. Like if I have to say something back to you, I got nothing else to say.
Okay, very good. I don't know why such a nice thing turns into your hands.
Right here.
I don't know what you're doing.
2 for
there.
1, by the way.
Right, another OLI. The airport announcer microphone being too low. I'm like, did I just get an upgrade?
So weird.
Was that me?
I don't
I'm
understand.
trying to.
How is this not better after all of these years? How is the airplane microphone situation still a shitty pilot talking into a tin can?
Right. Last OLI. A little kid running around the movie theater that I just paid my hard-earned money with a rotisserie chicken run.
It's chicken jockey.
That's right. That's right. He's exactly
Salute to the
right.
chicken.
I am ashamed of you.
It's
your
a
parenting
chicken
skills.
jockey, Juju.
I'm ashamed of your kid. I'm ashamed of your ancestors.
Soiling the good name of Zaslow.
Your descendants. Chris Cody, do you have a top 5 list? Top 5 most embarrassing Chris Cody screw-ups.
This is brutal.
Reliving
these. Number 5, this is me talking about Tyron Smith's hands.
Chris, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
I got Tyron Smith. I'm sorry. They were talking back here, so they were making me a little nervous.
Don't make excuses.
Tyron Smith holding a football in his hands. It looked so small.
That's 5? Wow, you limped in with that ever. That's number 5?
Who's that? That's not Chris Cody. Who
I
was
didn't
that?
really have time to order these.
Who is
really.
that
I'm just
guy?
Here's,
Number 4.
Here's me screwing up, trying to say karaoke.
Don't drag me into this. This is a beef between two guys. Leave it to the amateurs to battle this one out.
Sir, are you in a karaoke league?
I mean, they used to call me Chris Karaoke.
That back
Was really supposed to say Carrie Cody, but I just said karaoke.
Number 3.
Number 3. This is me screwing up A Few Good Men.
What about A Few Good Men, Cody? Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Do you know who directed that?
Oh no, I just isn't that the word? He's like, you can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's the line. You can't handle it.
Yeah. I thought it was I couldn't, and I was like, you
Number
can't.
3.
This next one I don't even really remember. It's me screwing up Chick-fil-A joke during a Brad Stevens interview.
So my favorite fries are Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is gonna be mad.
Chick-fil-A is in trouble.
You dip them in the sauce, right, Brad? You have to. Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
Chris, therapy couch. Get out of here, Chris.
I thought I was celebrating it. I said that the Chick-fil-A would be mad at him, even though he said a good thing about Chick-fil-A.
Number 1.
Number 1, this is me. Did we get to Fizdale yet? Here's me screwing up something with David Fizdale.
Shane Battier's gone and Dwayne Wade goes. I'm not sure what's going on with the culture.
Sinking ship.
They realized Spo's never leaving. You know, I feel like what's his name had a fuck man.
Good
Exactly.
start.
Keep going. Just keep
No,
fight through it.
No, let's just end the segment right
Fizdale.
there.
I found it at the end. Fizdale.
Find for me you trying to read the time that we overheard you trying to read in another
Sheets and
room.
giggles.
Yeah, I'm looking for that
was a
one.
good one.
Juju,
Sheets and giggles.
let's update some polls, Juju.
Okay, cool. We'll get to my top 5 another time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also-
No, wait a minute. No, I thought, did we not get to number 1? I'm sorry. Did we not get to number 1?
Those were OLIs.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
I thought that was
Those
the top
were
5.
OLIs.
My bad. I'm sorry. I thought we'd already started the list. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm very long-winded today. I'll speed through these. Number 5, when someone sends you 6 different text messages without just saying the one thing, like just take a beat, take a breath, send me one big text messages. Don't text me, hey. Don't text me, hey.
Strong agree.
Yeah. Number 4, when you go to squirt the ketchup and the ketchup water comes out before the ketchup.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a good list he's putting together here.
Right between the eyes. Number 3, Uber drivers that won't stop asking questions. Jesus.
Chatty Uber drivers.
You don't
So
get
you're here for the
you don't get the condiment juice in any other thing. Why is it just in ketchup? Is there
you
mustard
get it in
juice?
relish.
You get it in
doesn't-
mustard.
No,
Yeah,
you
you
get
get
it
it
in
mustard,
mustard
too.
and
Oh, so you
relish.
get in all of
too.
them?
Yes,
Alright,
you're
good.
wrong about everything.
Yeah.
Number 2, rent.
Yeah, rent is annoying.
Like-
That's right. That's correct.
Brother, I just got paid. Now you want it back
right.
from me already.
Yeah.
Can't get a foot ahead. Just get a foot ahead. And number 1, David Sampson.
Okay, there we are. It seems to be a consensus.
No matter what. Now let's get to the polls. First poll. Do you really have a toothache if you're chewing bacon while complaining about said toothache? 79% of the audience says no, you do not.
It was crispy, crunchy bacon. It's not just bacon.
Yeah. Are you proper bleeped if your Wi-Fi doesn't work for an entire weekend? 90% of the audience says yes, they are. Dang.
That seems like an unhealthy dependence to be reminded of in the middle of Zaslow's live stream.
Just me
Right.
and Wilbon.
It was a great stream too, by the way. I was in New York over the weekend, went to the Knicks versus Pistons game. Campaign, wow, holy moly. You would have thought the gates of hell opened up whenever he hit those threes. I've never been to Madison Square Garden for a Knicks game. That crowd is crazy. Look at me, Louie.
I am told, by the way, that we're going to have Pop That Campaign T-shirts up on the website here at some point. I don't know whether we're allowed to do that or not. You didn't give us a report from New York, though, Juju. They celebrated in New York as if they had really won something.
Yes, after the game, they were saying, we want Boston. I was like, come on, guys. You had a great run in the fourth quarter, but let's see what Cade Cunningham has to say about game 2. You feel me?
What if they would have
Because he had a
champed? We
terrible
want
game.
Orlando.
That would have been crazy. But yeah, that was a good stream you had, Zaslow.
Thank you.
Watching that Heat game.
Were you happy for me?
Yeah, I was happy because I live in Atlanta. I don't want to see the Hawks win. Like, come on, the stupid Hawks. Like, get out of here. Let's see the Heat, how far they can push it.
That's what I'm saying.
Next poll. Do you know the symptoms of gout? 60% of the audience says no, they do not. Damn. Have you ever had a paper cut? 97% of the audience says yes, they have had a paper cut.
Thank you.
Not a great day for me. I was like, that's
It's always
split,
a
right?
great-
50-50?
Jeremy, what happened? At one point, we were going to play the game Marlin or Disease with somebody, and we ended up wandering too far afield. When were we going to do that with whom?
That was with Pablo. We were thinking about playing that game with him. Maybe we could bring it back with a guest tomorrow because we have some good ones in there, Dan. I don't know if you know the answer to this one, but Kreutzfeld. Marlin or disease? Jacob Kreutzfeld.
Disease.
I'm going to guess Marlin.
Clearly. It's something that, it's...
Kreutzfeld-Jakob disease.
Damn.
I got a bad case of Nardi.
Are notaries obnoxious?
He's just so cooked today. It's crazy.
75% of the audience says yes, they are.
Chris Cody went off on notaries today. Just took out the entire...
That was my best segment. I shine there. I feel good about that. I'm going to go home and be like, honey, I had the notary segment.
She's going to say what?
Juju, anything else?
Yes. Can you say you got someone tickets to an event if they still had to pay face value? 63% of the audience says no, you cannot.
Wow.
Stugotz.
Upset.
Everyone here agreed that Stugotz had done someone a kindness by just simply setting him up with a broker.
Right. I thought he had set up my boy Mike with great seats, like, bro, put your wallet away. Your money's no good here style. My boy Mike still had to pay. Come on, man. You can't get into the microphone saying I hooked him up. Neither here nor there. Did you have a friend that was too eager today to tell you that the Pope had died? 54% of the audience says yes, they did have that friend.
Tony, blasphemy. But
I'm just saying, a lot of the guys that did it they don't really care about the Pope.
We care about
And the last poll is Whittingham great at the soccer stuff while sucking at everything else. 83% of the audience says yes, he is, and yes, he does. Damn, those are the polls.
All right,
Before I get out of here, the alley-oop is still going on. You feel me? Check out the alley-oop. And if you want to call and leave a voicemail and get on the show, the alley-oop, call 650-JUJU now and leave your message, and I will respond. You got to know.
Let's just close it out here with the gymnastics dismount.
Not sure we have time for this. I'm getting
of Chris Cody trying to read while we were watching him from another room, and he didn't know we were watching. All right, don't edit it then, Mike.
And folks, during December, Sheets and Giggles is offering a killer deal. If you want to give something...
Tough one.
And folks, during December, these Sheets and Giggles is off... And folks, during December, Sheets and Giggles is offering a killer deal. If you want to give some sheety gifts to your friends and family. A buy one, get one half off deal with the code HOHOHO.
So unnatural.
HOHO. Or if you just want to try the sheets for yourself, head to sheetsgiggles.com/Dan and use the code Dan. This Christmas, you can get 20% off your first order of Sheets and Giggles at
There's an F-bomb coming.
Oh,
he's talking to
Sheets and Giggles. Guys, Sheets and Giggles is a game changer. I never used to care what I slept on in my bed. Sheets and Giggles. Guys, I am not someone who does this type of thing a lot. I'm not a salesy guy. But when I tell you that my life and my wife are so much better now, my wife loves it. Sheets and Giggles insanely soft eucalyptus sheets are a perfect gift for your wife or husband this year. And it's a heady play. It's like
What was that? Speed bump.
That was actually, I think we're getting somewhere. That was a decent one.